Decided to do live again today and just answer some of these questions. I didn't really think that it was going to be this popular, but thank you so much for all of the love, the support, all of the questions. I'm going to try to get Pauline on here again, and hopefully we can answer some of these amazing questions that you have. I just thought that it was, normally I don't go back and do another chat with someone, but literally we had about 70 people texting us and texting me and asking all these questions for Pauline. So she's been gracious enough to be able to try and get back on here with us. Pauline, if you're there, if you can try and join. Let's see, there's like someone's requesting, and if you're not Pauline, I'm sorry, unfortunately I can't add you to this live because we're waiting for her. But yeah, she is a amazing stylist and a hair and makeup person that we work with, for those of you that are just joining, and here she is.
I'm waiting for her to just join us right now. Hi.
Hi, how's your camera?
It's beautiful. Good? It's so crazy because normally when I do these lives, I don't get like so many questions, but we had about 90 questions come in.
That's so crazy.
Thank you so much for hopping back on with us. So I just want to recap for all of the new people that are joining and the new viewers. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in the industry real quick, and then I'm going to answer some of these questions that they've been asking.
Sure. So about 8-9 years ago, I did a Dulon Expo in Edison, New Jersey, which is an Indian bridal expo. Very first year I did it, booked about 11, 12, or 13 weddings. Went back the following year, same great results. And ever since then, that's pretty much all I specialize in now. I do about 30 to 35 South Asian brides worldwide now.
Oh, wow. So one of the questions that we had is, what is your ethnicity and where are you from? Where's your family from?
I get asked that a lot as well. I'm Puerto Rican, African American, and rumor has it some Native American Indian, which I kind of want to follow up on because I'm kind of intrigued with that.
Wow, amazing. And then how long overall have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry about 16 years, but specializing in South Asian weddings about 8 or 9 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. And one of the questions was, what percentage of your brides are South Asian and what percentage of your brides are others, so to speak, now?
99.9% South Asian.
Wow,
and
really?
1%, no, yeah, for real. Yeah. 99.9% South Asian and 1% of the other.
And how do you think that people are finding you? Is it more referral based now as opposed to before?
Nowadays, it's all about, I would say 70-80% referrals and the other percentage Instagram. And then every now and then I'll hear Google search.
Gotcha. Okay. So one of the things we talked about before, and so many people ask about, oh, am I?
Okay, we're good now.
Okay. Live is like one of these things that it's like, you think you have great internet, but one of the things we talked about was this, your famous Instagram viral flawless look. And so people want to know more about this, Pauline. And I know you said that there's only so much you can say because it's your signature look, but can you just give us a little indication on what does that have to do with, and how did you come up with this concept is the question.
Sure. So I felt what was missing about 3-4 years ago. I was noticing a trend where everybody kind of just looked the same. And I don't mean that to disrespect any makeup artist, but for me, I remember just thinking to myself, how do I set myself apart? How do I set myself apart? What do I want to be known for? And I feel that when the skin is on point and when your skin looks rich and healthy and radiant, everything else just flows. If your skin's flawless, you can just do a little gloss and a little mascara and you're out the door. You're still going to look remarkable. So what I started doing a couple of years back is, as I order products, a lot of times I'm taking a cream foundation and a liquid foundation and I'm blending it on my hand to make sure that it doesn't break down the product longevity. I've
Gotcha.
been known to take foundation and do a little sprinkle of this, or I'll take my highlighter and strategically place it on certain parts of the face to see if I'm happy with the results. And once I started really zoning in and paying attention to ingredients in makeup, that's when it kind of just evolved. For instance, if I were to do your makeup, I may say, oh, I would love to put Sunil and MAC or NARS. But as I'm getting in there and working on the skin, if I feel a certain area is not responding well to, say, a cream foundation, then that's when I know that I need to convert it to perhaps a liquid and merge the two. So a lot of times when it comes to creating that glow, it's just me really looking and seeing if there's any dry patches to see where you need more
Gotcha.
hydration and really getting in there
Wow, that's amazing.
and buffing it out.
You know, for someone who's not in the home makeup industry, I always just use the same foundation everywhere and never really focus on something like that. So I'm sure that this is something that's taken you a really, really long time to be able to perfect.
Yeah.
Um, One tip for your brides on their wedding
Mm-hmm.
day, you kind of mentioned a couple of things, but you know, our viewers want to know what other kind of tips do you have for them, especially for their skin leading up to the day of.
Sure. So one thing with makeup, excuse me, I have a little itch. One thing with makeup is makeup will hide discoloration. Makeup will help counteract darkness under your eyes. But every now and then when I get a bride that says, hey, Pauline, I don't like my laugh lines, or I don't like, I'm creasing here, can you hide it? Makeup will only do so much. So if a
Gotcha.
woman's of a particular age and has things she wants to work on, that's where a dermatologist would really come in and put them on a regimen or some type of, Botox. I hate to say it, but Botox and fillers, certain
Hey,
things
there's times that
are
you
for
need
certain
these
things.
things,
You know
so
what
you
I mean?
know,
Exactly.
I totally agree with
Exactly.
you. I
So
totally agree.
so when it comes to, a week or two before, brides try to like all of a sudden come up with a regimen, but it really starts a couple months before, maybe even a year before. I'm huge on facials, and believe it or not, my absolute most favorite thing is microdermaplaning and really getting in there and getting those little peach fuzzes off your face, because
Wow.
that way when I'm applying the makeup and the powder, nothing is sticking to any of those fine hairs. And we all have it, but when you remove it, it's game changing on how your skin reacts to your moisturizer. You end up using less moisturizer, and even with makeup, it just glides on a lot more beautifully.
Wow, I learned something new today, which is so important. Every day you try to learn something new. And then my last question is for anybody, and we got a lot of questions about this, for anybody who is not in the South Asian industry and they're not South Asian
Mm-hmm.
themselves, what tips do you have for
Mm-hmm.
them to kind of get into the industry? It's a huge industry, and there's so much love for, you know, all of our clients and the vendors. But if you're not South Asian and you're trying to get into this industry for the very first time, you know, what suggestions do you have for them?
Just be yourself. Be yourself. Be mindful of what you're good at. Bring it to the table. Network with people. Reach out to those that you admire. In the beginning, there were so many things that I did free of charge. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just a matter of like, okay, let me get my foot in the door. I'm more than happy to offer my services complimentary, whether it was a photo shoot or what have you, just to kind of get my name out there. Because when you don't have something to show your work, you have to start somewhere. So don't be afraid to do the work. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone, network. But most importantly, stay true to who you are and figure out what you can bring into the industry. And then that way, you shine in your own special way.
Yeah, I think you're so right because the collaboration, especially when you haven't entered a certain market, the collaboration is like the best way to show your work
Yeah.
and kind of network and be able to collaborate with other individuals that are in that industry already.
Right.
And they do cater to that particular clientele. We get those calls all the time. Sonal, I want to work with you. Sonal, how can we be your preferred vendor? I don't just
Right.
really put someone on a preferred vendor list if I've never worked with them or they've never done a South Asian wedding? But then how do they get experience without having the initial work? And I think the collaboration is so important.
Yeah.
And there's so many style shoots you can do. And I really encourage people, if you're a photographer, a makeup artist, a videographer, do these style shoots, have the Indian models be able to kind of put forth what your best effort is. But you're right, you have to just be yourself and, kind of stay true to what makes your work so special. And I think other people will definitely be able to see it. Thanks so much, Pauline, for jumping on again. Keep the questions
Sure.
coming, and I will email these to you. And I'm so happy that this has been such a popular session. And I think you're amazing.
You.
Your work is amazing.
So
I
are
love
you.
working with you on all of these weddings that we have coming up. And, I think part of the journey for me is learning something new every single day. And every time we talk, I think that there's so much learning and growing that I do as an individual. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you, Sonal. I adore you, and you're the
You're so
elite
sweet.
in the industry, and I have nothing but respect for you.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And keep the questions coming, everybody. Stay safe, Pauline. Thanks for jumping on again.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.